Hello, it's the Midwestern movie reviewer here with another movie review. I recently saw Priscilla in theaters. This movie was really interesting to me. Why do you ask? Because it has a different take on the Elvis Presley story. Elvis Presley's story has been told a lot of times, but I've not seen one from the viewpoint of his wife Priscilla. She wrote a memoir called Elvis and Me back in 1985, and that's what this was adapted from. It is written, produced, and directed by Sofia Coppola. And also, she had Priscilla Presley was one of the additional writers and another lady. This movie, taking it from that viewpoint, I was interested because Priscilla was 14 or 15 when her and Elvis got together. He was 24. So I wondered, was this going to be really, really creepy, or is this going to be a beautiful love story? And what it was real.
Just what is the intent here, Mr. Presley? You got women throwing themselves at you. Why my daughter?
Well, sir, I happen to be very fond of your daughter. She's much more mature than her age.
21!
22. That's 22.
It was a very realistic portrayal of a relationship between this young woman, I would say a young girl at first, and this famous, ultra famous star. So, that was very interesting to me. Also, you get to look and see like what type of relationship did they have. And what you see is it was very controlling on his part. And my viewpoint on it was like he was so controlled in his career by this person called Colonel. And you really see that in last year's movie Elvis that starred Austin Butler. That was one area of his life he could control, was Priscilla, by controlling what she wore, who she talked to, every aspect of her life, how she dressed. And it also kind of was another way of seeing how some stars and their interactions in our time period. I thought about like Kim and Kanye, this big, huge power couple at one time, but he tried to control what she wore, how she styled herself. Some of these controlling relationships. Nowadays, we see this and women will buck against it. But back in that time period, probably most husbands had a lot of control over their wives. Hardly, not as many women worked outside the home. They would let their husbands kind of dictate how they lived their lives, and they just were housewives a lot of times. So it was probably not thought of as very unusual that he had this much control over her life. But although you see that a lot of women were envious of Priscilla because they wanted to be with Elvis Presley, you think, who wouldn't? But Priscilla was very lonely. She was very isolated. She didn't have any friends or outside recreation or a job, a purpose besides being Elvis's companion when he wanted her. It was a very isolating relationship. And they portrayed that very well in this movie. So interesting. Some of the stars of this movie was Cailee Spaeny, who played Priscilla, and Jacob Elordi, who played Elvis. Now, Cailee Spaeny, she has been in a show called Mayor of Easttown. She also is from a movie called Bad Times at the El Royale. And then you have Jacob Elordi, who is known for Euphoria. And this actor, he's very charismatic. He's very tall. He's maybe 6'2" or 6'4". Very, very tall. Elvis himself was only about 6 foot tall. But still, he has that commanding stature and has a lot of charisma, as Elvis did. He did an excellent job. Fantastic. And Priscilla, played by Cailee Spaeny, was so petite and so fragile and innocent, and it was really, really well done. I loved her performance in this. So if you have interest in Elvis, his story, but another aspect of it, And, be aware this movie is rated R. It's got some language, it's got some drug use, it's got a little bit of violence. So, basically that's the reason why it was rated R. So not for children. Anyways, if you do have interest in Elvis's story in another way, told in a different way, told from Priscilla's viewpoint, you would enjoy this movie. The Midwestern Movie Reviewer says go see Priscilla in theaters. And please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Also leave comments. Have you seen these other Elvis versions, and are you interested in seeing Priscilla? Also, please let me know what's a movie that's coming up that you're looking forward to this fall and winter, as we're getting some more of those holiday blockbusters getting ready to come out. I will see you in the next movie review. Thank you.